As promised, on his way out the door, President Trump issued more than 100 commutations or pardons of federal prisoners. And among them, some very famous names. Lil Wayne and Kodak Black were both got, Lil Wayne got a pardon and Kodak Black got a commutation of his sentence.
You know, I got to say, Charles, it's interesting because I'm sure you did too. I read the logic behind the pardons, and especially with Wayne, I thought it was really interesting. They talked a lot about rehabilitation, I guess, that, you know, whatever he had done, and I believe it was a firearms violation, but they talk about his charity work and the good deeds that he did. And, you know, that's the stuff that they should be looking at in deciding whether to pardon somebody, at least one of the factors, and they did with him. And I found that very interesting. It was contrasted starkly by Steve Bannon, who got a pardon, where all it said was he's an important conservative voice. There was nothing about any kind of good work that he did other really than that.
Yeah, he also commuted the sentence of Michael Harris, who was the co-founder of Death Row Records. Told you that Snoop Dogg had been sort of campaigning on his behalf, trying to get the president's attention, and obviously it worked.
By the way, Charles, Joe Exotic did not get pardoned, completely overlooked.
I cannot believe that. With all the other pardons, I thought, but...
Well, with the fanfare, they thought the production would result in a pardon. It didn't.
Also, Kim Kardashian, who of course has had immense success with working with the Trump administration, got the sentence of Chris Young commuted. So that's something that Kim had been working on.
And many others, we should say, and many others too.
Many others. Well, I was going to say, among those others is Alice Marie Johnson, who obviously was famously was pardoned by President Trump, and Kim Kardashian worked on that as well. And it's sort of like, I guess you could say, Alice is paying it forward because she was very involved in several of the pardons and commutations and working with the Trump administration. And she is joining us right now to talk about that. Alice, welcome back to the TMZ Live. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. This is a wonderful Freedom Day for many today.
So, Alice,
well put.
You paid it forward in a textbook fashion because you could have easily gone about your life and caught up with things, and you really worked hard for other people. That must feel amazing.
I tell you one thing, it feels like I'm still in a dream. Last night I was sitting on pens. I had already gotten advance notice on some of the people that they were being signed, but some were a surprise. And as the families were calling me and we were crying late night last night, it was one of the most awesome feelings I've ever had. Even more so than my own release. I was so, it was higher than that. Just to see that I've been able to impact so many others' lives. And just less than 3 years ago, I was a prisoner myself. So knowing where they came from, that is what made me work so hard, because I take it personal because it personally impacted me. I know how the families feel. I know how the people feel who are hoping and praying, and to be able to help, as they said, pick some of those locks and help set them free.
Whoa, we just had an earthquake. Sorry, Alice. Literally, as you finished your last answer, the whole building just shook around me.
Wow, that was God shaking everything up.
Yeah. That was God applauding for you, Alice. He said, you know what? She's done amazing work. So I don't want to derail this, but so, you know, you talked about that feeling, comparing it to when you got out, that it was greater for you to watch other people. I wonder if you had a chance to speak to any of the people who are getting out, if you had a chance to speak to them and helping them and how they're going to re-enter life now.
Well, I've been preparing for them because I know that getting them out is the hard part, but helping them become successful. And as I call, get their freedom legs. One thing that I did last year in 2020 was I launched my own organization called Taking Action for Good. You can visit it at takingactionforgood.org. But one critical piece is reentry. And when they come out, I make sure that I help them get their freedom legs so that they don't wobble when they walk, because I want them to be successful. And so many people, when they get out, everyone is applauding. But then the next day is, what do I do? How do I survive? And some will need just help. And so I'm there for this process too. After all of the fanfare, someone has to be there to help them. And so that's what I plan on doing.
You know, I wanted to ask you something, Alice, because one of the people I know you were instrumental in getting pardoned was Michael Harris, the co-founder of Death Row Records, and Snoop Dogg had been championing his cause as well. I wonder if you had a chance to talk to Snoop about. There are a lot of people who have asked for pardons, and a lot who've gotten them, who have been critical of President Trump about his policies, and just about that dichotomy of they were critical of him as you know, some of his other policies, yet he, you know, did issue them pardons. So, you know, did you talk to Snoop about that? Because he was very vocally an opponent of President Trump, yet his friend benefited here.
Well, I know that Snoop loves his friend Michael Harris. And just like with my situation, it took someone going in to bring me out. Kim went into that White House and she made sure I came out. And I just feel very blessed that I've been given a platform and an opportunity to have a seat at that table and to be able to impact others' freedom. And honestly, I didn't look at Michael Harris, who is AKA Harry O, as Harry O. I looked at him as Michael Harris, the man who deserved to come home. So many have tried to help Harry O gain his freedom, and he was still incarcerated. And this was like, I guess, one of those Hail Marys. We're going to take this last, we're going to give it all. And I just made my mind up, really, that I'm not going to take no, I'm not going to give up. And I started fighting for Harry O as if he was my brother, as if he was a family member. That's how I was looking at him. Not that I'm getting out an entertainer, a famous person. That never even crossed my mind as to what this would mean. And I've really been, I became surprised at the end as I realized how big of a thing this was. But I really focused on Michael Harris, the man who needed to come home after over 32 years. It just makes me want to cry again when I think about I spent over 21 and he spent a decade longer than me. So it's not the celebrity, it's the man.
Well, it's the woman too, because you are amazing, Alice. And I'm telling you, you know, I've seen a lot in my life, and to see what you've been through and how you handled it and how you are helping others, Alice, I wish I were as good as you, man. I'm telling you, you are amazing. I really mean it.
We all do. We all do, Alice.
I really mean it.
Thank you. I've been able to take that rope and pull 16 other lives out.
You did indeed. Alice,
awesome.
You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
I don't know that
she's an inspiration.
Every time we talk to her, I smile for the rest of the
she is
day.
an inspiration. By the way, what's the significance of that earthquake?
I don't know, but man, that shook me.
I mean, today, I know.